Nobody indeed. What is good? Welcome into Driving the Line. My name is Alan Bell, and this is the wonderful sleep-deprived Bradley Betts. How we doing, buddy? You doing all right?
Doing great. Yeah. Need a little bit of sleep. Got a lot of energy this morning. Huge, amazing slate. Not a huge slate, I guess you say, but an amazing, difficult slate today. Got UCL action, English Premier League action, US Open Cup action. We got Europa, both Europa competitions tomorrow. We got the MLS. We got all league play. I mean, there's so much to be excited about in the soccer world.
My man, you absolutely nailed that right there. That's how you do a promo. Cut it perfectly. All right, everybody, welcome in. Hey, and you know what? Shout out to all the parents out there. I'm not a parent, but it looks like it's a little difficult, especially when babies are quite young. So shout out to my man Brad here. Toughing it out. That's my boy. All right, speaking of toughing it out, let's take a look at how we did on Tuesday here. And yeah, solid one, man. Giants, Phillies crushed that one. A's, White Sox crushed that one. Jimmy Butler, 7 rebounds, got there. Whoo, that was close, but we got it. Xavier, Cincinnati. Now, B Mills, look. Me and Millsy here, and I'll pull myself here on screen. Me and Millsy had a little saddle up hoss here, showdown. He had under 13. I had over 13. Now, in the show, I had over 12.5. He had under 13.5. So we evened it for the showdown. It ends at 13 runs. So Millsy, well done. We both push on that one. So we'll get another one here. We'll figure out the next one. But yeah, so shout out Millsy. I mean, we middled that one solid, hit both the bets, and then pushed that one. So we'll get to that. Grand Canyon, Arizona, crushed that over. Oklahoma State. We do not get that one. It ends at, I think it was 11-1. There in the 8th inning, but you know what? We'll definitely take that one for sure. Everybody, the Discord. If you're not in this, I don't know what you're doing. Jump in. It's free. You can get betting all day, all night, anytime that you want it. You can get the show when Brad's up at 4:18 in the morning. All right. Or 2:18 and 1:18 and 12:18. Like, yeah, man, scan it. Thank you, Arco, man. Absolutely get in there. And it's free. Can't beat that one at all. Now, all right, so, Brad, we got a little Howie Schwab crew play of the day, all right, going to the NBA. Now, we had 2 play-in games last night, okay? Got 2 more tonight. So, where's everybody going? Got the Heat plus 1.5. Got the Bulls minus 1.5. They're our first game tonight. Then in the West, have the Mavericks plus 4.5 or the Kings minus 4.5. Polls in the chat. Vote now. Update as we always do at the end of the show. And Millsy said it best. Look, 2 winning bets in the end. That's what matters most. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Millsy, well done. Well done indeed. Great job there. Okay. Let's go ahead and get into our picks for today. And you know what? Let's get a little theme song music going with it. All right. All right, Bradley, you good-looking son of a gun there, all right? I want you to hit lead off here. Go ahead and go first. What you got?
Yeah, we're headed to that overnight matchup in the land down under, the Australian A-League, in a matchup between Brisbane and Western United. We're taking that over 3 Asian total at minus 145, which gives us 3 goals for a push for a total cash. But why are we taking that? Brisbane, they come in scoring in 43 of 56, which is 77%. And Western, they're coming in scoring 29 of 36, 81%. So both of these teams trending near that 80% mark. But really, Western specifically, they're scoring 2+ in 9 of 11 and 3+ in 7 of the last 8 away matches. So it's not just at home that Western perform. They also perform away from home. They're a really top scorer, but they also concede. Both teams, big-time conceders. Brisbane, they've only had 1 clean sheet since December of 2023. That is 40 of 42 matches that they have conceded, 2+ in a regular fashion as well. Both teams have scored 75%, 18 of 24 home matches. So Brisbane, when they're at home, they hit their numbers, which is specifically why we're playing them at home today against Western. Western have conceded in 27 of the last 28 away matches. October 2023 is, besides 1 clean sheet, they have conceded in 27 of 28 away matches. That is crazy. 2+ and 7 of 8 as well. So both of these teams trending really well. And in this matchup history, 3 of the last 4 home matchups, Brisbane versus Western, both teams to score over 3.5 and 2 of 3. But why we're taking that over 3 and not just a over to BTTS over 2.5 type of parlay, it's because when these teams hit that over 2.5, they hit that over 3.5, 13 of 13 straight. So that's 13 straight for Brisbane and 13 of 14 for Western. Both teams trending in the scoring department, trending in the totals, as well as getting to that 3.5 threshold, which is what we're looking for in this bet. On the overnight slate, minus 145, over 3 between Brisbane and Western United.
Nice job there, man. Dude, those stats were ridiculous. Like 27 to 28, 14 to 50. Like, solid, man. Solid. Now, what do we got on the board back there? What do we got?
Well, looking at Mexico, Liga MX has been absolutely popping. There are only a few weeks left in the season, but as you can see from these trending figures in the total league, 24 and 11, 69% to that both teams, or 69% to that both teams to score. And then you have that over 2.5 at 28 and 14. So 2 out of every 3 matches are hitting these numbers. And then specifically, you have some matches tonight. Those are the teams in action tonight and those totals. You're looking at, it was Monterrey, 15 and 2, I think. Yeah, no, 18 and 2, excuse me. League matches, absolutely popping in the both teams to score. Then the over 2.5, team like Tijuana, I think 17 and 20. Right now, I mean, these teams are absolutely popping in a league where you're going to get great numbers. And in the evening time, when a lot of people are looking for action, and in the footy world, the evening time, typically you're going to get those South American leagues, some of the North American leagues, which tend to not be as high scoring. So Mexico is definitely want to be a league that you put in front of you, especially in these last couple match weeks.
Dude, look, all right, so I can tell that I'm learning from you each day, right? And I look at the board here, and look, I'm going to put you on full screen just so we can see the board. But over 2.5. Look at our boys down in Tijuana, 18 and 3, like you said, both teams score. Tijuana, look at TJ, 13 and 2. Dude, absolutely love it, man. I love that board every day. I like it, man. I even go back, like after post-production, after the show, I go back and look and just try to read it and like try to understand just to get better. You know what I mean? Dude, you do
It's a good place to take a screenshot. It's a lot of information. I try to give you as much as you can to help you out in not just one match, but a plethora. Sometimes it's also about the plays that you don't make. So if you do see something that you don't like, you don't have to play it. That is a chance for you to lose money. We don't lose money. And then specifically also tonight in the U.S. Open Cup. For those unfamiliar, the U.S. Open Cup is the only promotion relegation I guess you'd say, event in the United States. So there's these teams who are coming from all over. You can, AB, if you and the boys wanted to get a soccer team together and enter the U.S. Open Cup, you absolutely could and should. To be quite honest, you can play in this tournament. It is awesome. Anybody from around the United States, but specifically what's happening in the U.S. Open Cup. We're in round 3, the second part of round 3. What is trending? The over 2.5. 3 goals have actually come in at 43 of 61. That is 71%. So above 7 out of every 10 matches in the U.S. Open Cup this season are hitting that over 2.5. So if you're looking for goals as well in this evening time, the U.S. Open Cup, which is probably starting to finish up, a round robin event that will go to extra time and be decided on PKs if needed, a very specific type of event. But that is another event you want to look at for goals if you're looking for today.
My boy, all right, 2 things. Okay, number 1, our man Brad is shot out of a cannon, ready to go with all of it. Number 2, I don't think anyone wants me playing on their soccer team, but I'll go over to the Lost Patty, all right, off Spence Lane and go watch it. I'll watch you boys. Get myself a nice pint. Get after it, Brad. Well done, buddy. Well done.
Absolutely.
Right.
AB, one note before we get out of that U.S. Cup. I just want to say it's super cool. There is a restaurant in California who has entered. They are sponsored El Farolito, and they are beating these top teams. A team, non-professional side, amateur side, is taking on some of these top dogs and winning. So that is what's so special about this cup specifically. These are chances for these players who don't get all of those opportunities to play against some of these top dogs in a similar fashion to the FA Cup in England, one of the most historic cups in the world in all competitions, to be able to see teams who are non-professional sides take on teams in a round robin tournament and get as far as you can. It is exciting. And if you like soccer in the United States, maybe maybe just take a look into this tournament. You might get some amateurs, not some great quality of football, but what you're going to have is some real excitement and guys who really, really want to be there and play hard.
My boy. All right, two more additional things. Number one, we damn sure aren't getting any amateurs on this show breaking down soccer. And two, talking about people who want to be there. Yeah. Bradley again, my boy. Dude, you just pass every test, man. Every time. See, kids, that's what a professional looks like right there. That's what it looks like.
It wasn't as good in school, but after school, I can feel a little bit better.
Tune you up outside out of there on the pitch. Oh, I love it, dude. Brad, well done, buddy. All right, so okay, Major League Baseball. Number one, and we got some questions and stuff in the chat. We'll get to those 1 second. Let me get picks out. Angels and Rangers over 2.5 home runs. Plus 110. I get this at DraftKings. I'm sure other books have it too. DraftKings, if you click in the game, all right, at the top, when you scroll through the props, click game totals, and you will see this. This is both teams. We just need to get 3 home runs. Doesn't matter how we get there. Or you could play it individual teams if you want to. You can look at team totals, but I'm going to play it for the game over 2.5 home runs plus 110. Also going to take the Angels Rangers over 8.5 at minus 115. Now, all right, 2 things on this. Number one, happy Patrick Corbin Day for everyone who celebrates. All right. And number 2, Andrew White said, I got Angels Royals at 9 for the total. Would you take it there? Absolutely. I'll tell you what, go ahead. Mark mine down is 9, right? Like, I don't ever want to be that dude that comes on here with plays that people can't get, right? So, Andrew, hell yeah, I'm with it. So, market is 9. You know what I mean? I'm right there with you. If anybody out there can get 8.5, absolutely do it, right? Shop your books. But yeah, Andrew, I'm with you. I got you. Yeah, let's roll on 9. Let's absolutely do it, man, for sure. So we're going to play both of those in the same game. All right, now, Royals and Yankees. We're going to take the over 8. Good pitching matchup here. However, we have some weather in our favor, and I do believe that the Yankees are going to look to get their bats popping and popping and popping throughout the lineup. So we're going to take that over 8. And don't sleep on the Royals either. All right. I think this is a game that they could bust some runs out as well. And then finally in the NBA tonight, Klay Thompson over 3.5 threes at plus 135. His line is actually at 2.5. And about an hour ago, it sat, the juice was about minus 150. And it's a little high for me, but it has been going down the juice wise, right? So pay attention. You've got time, obviously. I mean, they don't play till, last game tonight, right? So keep an eye on that juice. You might be able to get 2.5, but I'm going to go ahead and take it at 3.5 at plus 135 because, quite frankly, the Mavericks need them. Going to need a lot of shots tonight, right? So I think we're going to get Klay firing. Does he get all 4? I hope so, but I think we're going to have our opportunities. You know what I mean? So, yeah, there we go. All right, let's see. A couple comments in here. I'll say, good morning, crew. I've been able to watch live so long to rearrange my morning. Hey, Austin, was wondering how you doing, man? It's good to see you, buddy. Hope everything's okay. Zach, Tigers, Mariners, and White Sox did not score in the first inning. Minus 118. Love it. TJ said, Wilson, the shortstop of the Athletics, finally got a game. He didn't get a hit in, so we're jumping on his hit props again. Yeah, so that stat, dude, like, that was the first game all season that he didn't get a hit. That's crazy. Andrew, we got that one. Big Tony said, hey, love the whiteboard. Yeah, I do too, man. It's awesome. Country, good to see you. My Bulls, yep, going to be a good one. Be a good one indeed. Love the green and red from Mexico. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Caesar says Angels Rangers plus 109.5. Should I take it? Man, I would try to get 9. Like, I'm not saying that there won't be a lot of runs tonight, but I mean, now you're needing 10 runs. You see what I'm saying? Like, now again, it's tough, but it's Major League Baseball, man. I would try to get it at 9, but that's just me. You should be able to get it for decent juice. You should be able to move that down. Jared, good morning, crew. About that Jimmy Buckets over 21.5 ladder from last night's stream. Absolutely, man. You crushed that one. Dude, what did he end up with? 38 points? Yeah. Brad said, let's get a team going. Yeah, let's definitely do it. Me and you running up and down the pitch. That's what folks want, man. All right, these are our picks here. All right, now, let's go ahead and get into the NBA. All right, so, Brad, like I said, got 2 games tonight, play-in games, and then the NBA is off Thursday, and then the playoffs fully officially begin on Friday once we understand, who wins and who gets in these play-in games. So got the Heat, the Bulls. Heat plus 1.5, Bulls minus 1.5. Over under 219.5. Both money lines are in play here. Again, money line parlays, if you're looking to play both, are not a bad look here. Pretty much the same spreads that we had last night. Never mind. We had 4.5, 5.5 last night, but Mavericks plus 4.5, Kings minus 4.5, total of 214.5. So both of the totals are under 220. Money lines, a little high there for the Kings if you're playing that singularly. However, if you're playing money line parlays, man, both under 200. Yeah, solid, man, solid. So I thought over to you guys, what do you see out of this? I feel like we get the Heat and the Bulls that play every year in this. They ought to just rename it after those two, man. Same thing with the Mavs and the Kings. It's like the same side. Yeah, throw in the chat. What do you see out of here in regards to potential parlays? How do you feel about the totals, right? If you had to pick one that was going to go over, you had to pick one that was going to go under, right? How are you going to look at it and go about it? Now, I always get worried when you have spreads of 1.5. Like we saw those towards the end of the tournament. The weird thing is those tend to lead to blowouts. I don't know, man. I kind of feel the Bulls. I was looking at Josh Giddey in terms of threes. I know that he's probable to play tonight, and how do you not play, in a play-in game? But yeah, how do you guys feel? Brad, any thoughts that you have? And I'm just throwing it at you, so it's don't feel like, if you don't say no, it's perfectly fine. You know what I mean? But, 214.5 at Mavericks Kings. That's low, right?
I was thinking the same thing. If I've ever bet an NBA prop the last couple seasons, the Kings over seems to kind of be something that I've leaned into. Even if it's live, they kind of play a run and gun pace. And I like to bet those who get up and down the court. More opportunities lead to more baskets, which leads to more points.
Yep, I'm with you on that one, man. And look, you get some love on that. Cortez says, both games over, leaning more towards Bulls because they can run. Kobe points are worth a look. Yep, absolutely. Prince of Picks, good stat here. It's the third year in a row of Heat Bulls playing. Yeah, I swear. Chicago's inconsistent, but have swept Miami this season. First off, it's a stat, right? So it's not like, hey, I agree. It's a factual statement, right? Yeah, I feel like I trust the Bulls more in this one. DC says Bulls money line Mavs plus 4.5. Okay, I like it. Good job, Blue Jacket fan. They need to win. Come playoffs, they realize, hey, we need to play defense. Yeah, you're right on that one, man. Liddy said Anthony Davis goes off tonight. It's time to prove. 100% agree with that one. 100% agree. Indeed. Kings struggling offensively. Mavericks have no offense with the subtraction of Kyrie and Luka. They don't. That's why I like the opportunity on Clay's threes. Now, again, do we get there? 4 threes? Who knows, right? I think so, but should have every opportunity to get there. You know what I mean? So, yeah, definitely on that one. Roger said unders in the playoffs. Yeah. Boogie said, love the over in the Mavs game, over 214.5. Yeah, I'm with you there. Tez, Warriors game went over last night too. Yep, sure did, man. Absolutely did. So that is the NBA. Keep dropping your thoughts, thoughts, stats, picks in the chat. And we'll keep going through that. But that's the NBA. Now, let's get into Major League Baseball. All right. So we've got 4 games of note in Major League Baseball that we need to pay attention to the weather. Hey, everybody noticed the weather yesterday? How nice was that? We had runs everywhere, right? Not as good. That was, idyllic. Every game was, just wind blowing out. But we got some good ones here. So this is what we want to pay attention to. Okay. Guardians at the Orioles. Okay. Got 14.5 mile an hour winds blowing west, northwest. So essentially it's blowing from the left field foul pole, basically to the right. All right. Left-handed bull hitters, solid for you. Right-handed bull hitters could be tough. You're going to be battling the wind, but you will see open spots in terms of getting base hits and extra base hits. So 57 degrees, a little cold, feels like mid-40s, no precipitation. Yeah, just keep an eye there. Could be tough to get the ball out. Yeah. Let's see, B Bills. I can't wait for that. So, oh my God, I know. We're getting there. We're getting there. Oh, dude, it's absolutely fantastic. Once we get real humidity in here, we can just start crushing, man. All right. Nationals and the Pirates. Look at this. 11.5 mile an hour winds blowing out to center, right center here. High 40s feels like, or high 40s temperature feels like high 30s. Again, gonna feel cold, but you do have wind in your favor. Not a bad look. Not a bad look indeed. Giants and the Phillies. All right. Same deal as the first game. 13 mile an hour winds blowing from left foul pole to the right. Low 50s temperature feels like low 40s. Not great, not bad. No precipitation, but really don't have any humidity or anything. But you do have wind. Left-handed pull hitters. It worked out well for Bryce Harper last night. Keep an eye on Kyle Schwarber. Could be a day for him. And then finally, look at this. Royals at the Yankees tonight. 15-mile-an-hour winds blowing out towards right center. Temperature 50 degrees. Feels like mid-30s. Cold. However, you do have two baseball teams that are used to playing in the cold and not afraid to do it. And when you have wins like that, boy, that's solid, man. Solid indeed. So, Royals, Yankees, a solid look. Take a look at home runs, specifically anybody from the left-hand side that pulls. Ooh, that could be solid. All right, so those are our Major League Baseball temperatures. All right, now we'll get to our hitters in just a second. But, Brad, we got to play our favorite game on planet Earth. All right, so Wednesday, top 5 home run bets. All right, you see, look at lovely Matt Olson pictured right there in his sharp white Braves uniform. Right, got Matt Olson plus 300. Got Max Muncy, Dodgers plus 425. Corey Seager of the Rangers at plus 425. Salvador Perez of the Royals plus 450. And Dansby Swanson, Vanderbilt alum, right there, the Chicago Cubs plus 475. All right, Brad, you go first, buddy. Who you like?
Give me Salvador Perez at plus 450. Big man hitting big bombs.
Dude, that's a good play. Honestly, that's exactly where I was going too. That's a solid play, dude. Salvador Perez is a good day for him, man. Indeed. All right, I'm going to go Max Muncy here. All right, now I'm playing a little bit of the data on this one, but I'm going to go Max Muncy at plus 425. But again, not a bad look for any of these cats, man. But, dude, good call. I was going Salvador. Dude, that's a great call, man. I absolutely love it. All right, so these are our top 5. But, again, drop in the chat who your home run picks are for today. And it doesn't have to be someone that's on the board. You could go off the board for sure. And, Liddy, yep, Max, this is a Max Muncy day. Yep, absolutely, man. Shohei, not a bad look at plus 250. Not a bad look at all. All right, now let's take a look at our our hitter versus pitcher historicals. Okay, so what we do here is we take a look at career historicals of hitters against said pitchers for today. And I know it can be a little bit difficult to see in regards to all the data there. So you might have to, screenshot and scroll in, but I'll kind of lead you through it. And we filter by home runs, right? So this is career all time of batter on the left versus said pitcher. Now, a couple things you want to look at, okay? So, again, we've got it filtered by home runs. Look at Max Muncy right there. 32 at-bats against Marquez, 7 hits, 4 home runs, looking solid. J.D. Davis against Patrick Carvin. Yeah, 4 bombs. Not only do you want to look at home runs, but you want to look at how many times a pitcher is listed on this. You see what I'm saying? And you're going to start to see guys that are on here over and over and over. Marquez of the Rockies being one of them. He's all friggin' over it, right? So Justin Turner, he's got 2 bombs against Pivetta. Dansby Swanson against Pivetta, he has 2 as well. You see Matt Olson there, he's got 1 off Chris Bassett. Salvador Perez has got 1 off of Clark Schmidt. And you could go down the list, right? So these are the guys that we have. Now, we also flip it on the opposite side here. All right, so you can see here we filter it by home runs of fewest amount and up. guys that have 0. But it doesn't mean that you fade these guys, right? Take a look at their at-bats. These could be guys that you play props for singles, doubles, triples, hits, walks, hits, runs, and RBIs. And I'll give you a hint too. It doesn't show walks, but here's how you read it for walks. Okay, so you see, look at number 2 right here, Mike Tauchman, right? So he's got 8 plate appearances, 7 at bats. All right, you're thinking, what in the hell? How do you have 8 plate appearances, 7 at bats? Well, because a walk doesn't count as an at bat. So that's how you could tell and see walks on here. So we don't have batting averages, but you can kind of do it. As to know against Patrick Corbin, look at this: 18 at bats, 8 hits, solid. Okay, solid. He's hitting almost 500 against Patrick Corbin. All right, you can go down the list here and see guys that have a good solid amount of at bats. Stephen Kwan, all right, against Dean Kramer, 8 at bats, 4 hits. All right. Hitting 500 against a guy is generally pretty solid. So, again, just another way to take a look at this here. Look at Brent Rooker, all right, against Jonathan Cannon, 3 at bats, all right, 2 hits. Now, not a huge sample size, but again, it'll absolutely help in regards to this. So I hope that does help. We'll pull this down, and I'll pull the home runs back up. So now, having seen the data, right, that change your mind. You sticking with Perez?
Salvi bomb, baby. Let's go.
I love it, man. I absolutely love it. Dustin said, thanks so much for sheet. They say hours of using roto grinders and stat music. 100%. And let me say this too. Like, if anybody has any like stats or things that you look up and use every day, let us know. Like, we could go through it and simplify the process, because if you use it, every single day, there's probably others that do as well. And we can simplify that, and not only make it easy, but we all get better, right, for having to do it. So I'm glad that helps for sure. Because it helps me too. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely. Let's see. Man, Mose, hey, how we doing, brother? All right. Got 3 picks. All right. He's going with Mets team total over 3.5 -130. Guardians team total over 3.5 -125. Athletics -1.5 on the run line at +110. All right, there we go. How we doing, Bubba? How's the little one doing, man? Everybody doing good? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you indeed. Okay, let's see. Aaron said, good to see you, Bub. Today might be a round robin home run kind of day. Yeah, it could be, man. Could be. Team rankings was baseball savant on May 2. There we go. Dude, Taylor Dutton, good to see you, brother. It has been a while, man. How we doing, brother? Looking good, man. Fam looking good in that picture, man. Absolutely love it. Good to see you. All right. Let's see. I think that might be all that we have, buddy. Let's hit the picks one more time and then we'll get out of here. Go ahead and hit us, man. What you got?
We're headed to the land down under, that overnight A-League match in Australia between Brisbane and Western United. We're taking that over 3 Asian total at -145. 3 goals gives us a push. 4 goals gives us a full cash. Both teams are hitting, when they hit over 2.5, in 13 of 13 and 13 of 14 between the teams respectively, it's gone over that 3.5 total. So over 3 -145.
Beautiful work, my man. All right. Major League Baseball, I'm going Angels Rangers over 2.5 home runs at +110. Going Angels Rangers over 8.5 as well. If you can't get 8.5, if you got 9, I'm playing that with you. But showing it here, shop your books. If you can't get 8.5, obviously do it to it. Royals, Yankees over 8 -115. And the big Klay Thompson of the Mavericks over 3.5 threes tonight at +135. All right. We'll be live today, 3 p.m. Eastern, normal time, driving the Nightline. We'll also be live tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern for week 10 of the college baseball season. And did anybody notice last night, midweek games? Remember what we talked about? Teams taking it a little more seriously? Starting to take it a little more seriously. Other than Ole Miss, who got beat by Arkansas Little Rock, ranked teams showed up. So pay attention to that. We don't have really almost any games in college baseball tonight. So it's a good night to break down what we have come up this weekend, because this weekend is a monster. All right, we're getting out of here. Brad, any final thoughts, buddy?
Always got something, a final thought. But specifically today, Miguel Gutierrez in the chat asked, do I have any Champions League picks? Unfortunately, no. But what I do want to explain to you is just how difficult these matches are specifically. We are in leg 2, which on the surface means we don't have a 0-0 aggregate. Teams aren't just playing straight up. Yesterday, we saw two underdogs at home down on aggregate win outright. That parlay would have been plus 1,200, plus 1,300, something like that. And there's a lot of people who expected Barcelona and Paris Saint-Germain to come out and beat Aston Villa and Dortmund. They did it in the home leg, and they did it decisively. But what people don't necessarily understand on these lines is when you have a team that's down and hungry and on their last leg, they're going to come out and give everything they have. So sometimes if they're just not good, it's going to lead to breaks for the other team. But if you have teams who are complacent, like a Barcelona, like a Paris Saint-Germain, away from home, knowing that all we have to do is not lose by a certain goal total and we advance. So you'll take it a little bit lighter, I guess you would say. So this sets up really interestingly for this Real Madrid-Arsenal match today. Arsenal, decisive victory, 3-0 at home, 2 free kick goals against the run of play a little bit, but fantastic finishing, hit above the expected goal total. Real Madrid had a tough match. They're going to be at home in that money line at minus 120, down 3-0 at aggregate. I'm just saying that one looks pretty interesting. As an Arsenal fan here, it's pretty tough for me to bet against my Gunners, but knowing what we've seen thus far and how teams down on aggregate will play super, super hard, give it everything that they have, and even if they win. So if Real Madrid wins 1 or 2-0, they still can't advance. So late in the game, you might see Arsenal give up something just simply because they don't have to attack. They just need to withstand that pressure. And when you're there to withstand pressure and you sit in a little bit deeper, you start to invite that pressure. You have players like Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., who are going to be attacking. And the same thing in the other end. You have Bayern Munich, who were the favorites at home, lose 1 or 2-1 late. Now they're going away from home against a really tough defensively Inter Milan. They're going to sit in deep, look to counter. Bayern was the better team in leg 1 at home. That's what they should have been, but they still lost. They've been doing that all season. So it's going to be a difficult match. Expect Bayern to try to win by at least 1 to force overtime. Expect Real Madrid to win by 1, 2, or 3. Mandatory 3 in order to get to overtime. So expect goals, expect high pressure, expect absolutely everything, all the energy, all the effort, everything today in this afternoon UCL. Excited about it, but good luck to everybody who's trying to place a wager. It's such a difficult tournament.
My God. Just phenomenal. Like, you can't beat that at all. Look, Max said it best. Brad's in his bag right now. Dude, freaking great job, man. Dude, just great job. You get a ton of love in the chat. Dude, you're unbelievable, bro. You're a beauty. All right, our Howie Schwab group play of the day. Bulls minus 1.5 is the winner. Is that where you would have gone, Brad? Bulls minus 1.5.
I haven't been betting on the Bulls since Jordan left. So that was many, many years ago. If there's a team I'm going to back, oh, man. Let's take, you know what? Let's go with the Heat, plus 1.5.
Going
Let's
against
get the underdog. It looks, I think, the Bulls have gotten the better of them. But in soccer specifically, if you beat a team 3 times in a row in a season, expect that 4th time to have a different game plan and a lot of motivation there.
I love it. I love it. All right. So it was 45% for the Bulls minus 1.5. Kings minus 4.5, 28%. Heat plus 1.5, 15%. And then the Mavericks plus 4.5, 12%. Nobody believing in the Mavs over there plus 4.5. I like it. You're going contrarian on that one. I like it, man. All right. So Bulls minus 1.5 is the cruise play. And one last thing, and then we'll get out of here. Before the internet starts doing its thing. I shouldn't even said it. Liddy, AB, maybe Aaron and I can email you a round robin play of the day thoughts. Hell yeah. Send that in. Just, get it in, we'll before, shows at 3 p.m. Eastern. If you can get it in an hour before that's certainly ideal. But if it's like 30 minutes, just give me a little time to get it on the recap screen, but hell yeah, please. Yeah. you guys just talk. One of you send it over, email it over, and yeah, I'll absolutely get it on there for sure. All right, we'll be live 3 p.m. Eastern today, but till then, everybody, best of luck. Let's cash these tickets, and we'll see you this afternoon. Thanks. Who's got it better than us? Nobody.